What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. And listen, West Indies have done it again. We have won another game. Big up Dinesh Kanari. Sorry, I was like Dinesh Kanaria. That's a Pakistan ex-wicketkeeper. Dinesh Kere, team India, number one in Test cricket. Are they number one in Test cricket? I think New Zealand might be number one. However, you lot have done very well to you're nearly going to win this game against England over in Chennai. Brilliant performance so far from Ravi Ashwin. But on West Indies, 2-0 victors away at Bangladesh. The first time we've won away in Asia for a long time. To win there on a clean sweep, a whitewash, that doesn't happen very regularly for any nation at all. So West Indies going over there with a depleted squad. Let's not get it twisted. Depleted squad. We had a number of senior players who decided not to travel due to COVID issues. And to go there with the squad that we have, and I spoke about in the first test, the victory that we got, a brilliant victory, to go and win the second in the way that we did. Listen, only West Indies, West Indies and probably Pakistan as well. They really leave it down to the last minute. Like, they really get your nerves jangling. You think they're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Like, I thought we had this game in our hands and we were just giving it away time and time again. I understand the pitch wasn't great. I'll take you through the match as it went. First innings, we won the toss and elected to bat, and we scored 409, and it was a good 409, a good score, very good score on that wicket. Batting first, you're gonna have the chance to get the best of the conditions when bowling in terms of spinning conditions, but more importantly, getting the best batting conditions available. We got 409, but I feel like we should have got more. We really should have been pushing to 450. In the end, of course, it didn't matter, but we should have been pushing towards 450. We'd have got a lot of starts and no one was able to really convert. Craig Brathwaite got 47, Captain Craig, and I'm going to speak about him. I did say after the first test I was going to speak about him, so I'll speak about him at the end. He got 47, wasn't able to go onto the 50. John Campbell, he got 36, wasn't able to push onto a 50. Nkrumah Bonner, second test, another brilliant performance from him. He gets 90, unable to push onto 100. Joshua Da Silva gets 92, not able to get 100. Alzari Joseph gets 82, unable to push into his 100. So we got a lot of players who got a lot of starts and they just weren't able to convert. And I think that's what hampered us from getting a good, ultimately a very good score, what it would have been. But 409 was still a score that we could have worked with, and work with it we did. Let me just zoom that in for you. And then we went on to bowl. And we bowled out in Bangladesh, for 296. 200, which is, considering spin is, their speciality and not ours, we did very, very well. Gabriel got 3 wickets. Alzari Jones got 2. But Rakeem Cornwall picking up 5 for 74 and 32. Listen, I give that guy stick. And for me, I think as a professional cricketer, he can be fitter, I might say. I'm not going to say much more than that. But I do think that his ability with the ball is good enough to keep him in the side. But I think he can just do a bit more work off the field. We'll leave it as that. But yeah, Tamim Iqbal getting 44, giving away his wicket as he often does. Mustafa Rahim 54 and Linton Das 71, with Mahedi Hassan getting 57 as well. We were just able to keep ploughing away and getting wickets at crucial moments, and able to bowl them out for 296, which for me was a good score to get them out for. I feel we could have restricted them even a bit more. I think at one point we had them 155 for 6. And we allowed them to get another 140 runs. So it's that killer instinct that sometimes we're still missing. And I think if we're going to really progress in international cricket, in Test cricket, regardless of what players we got available, I think it's that killer instinct that we still haven't got. We allow games to, I wouldn't say drift, but we just don't know. Drift is probably the right word, to be fair. It probably is drift, but we just don't know how to ram our foot on the necks, for want of a better phrase. Actually, ram your foot on your necks when you are in a position of power. So yeah, we bowled him up for 296 and went out to bat again. And with a lead of what 100 and 110, 115, I was like, we're probably going to need. I don't know. I was thinking at least 200, at least get 200, and get a 300 lead, and that should be comfortable. That should be enough to bowl them out. They're not going to chase 300, Bangladesh, even though they're in home conditions, etc. We got a weakened squad. Bangladesh ain't chasing 300. For me to get bowled out for 117 was very, very disappointing. It was like the old West Indies coming back in. As I said, we're in a position of power. We can't ram it home. And, Craig Brathwaite got out for 6. John Campbell again failing. And let's be honest, I'm going to go through it. Like, John Campbell, how long has he got left at West Indies? In West Indies, I don't know how many openers we actually got available to choose from. I know someone was suggesting the likes of Nicholas Pooran opening the batting. I'm not sure about that in Test cricket, but John Campbell hasn't had a very good career at Test cricket so far. Internationally, it's been very up and down. He has a good innings every so often, but overall, it has been too inconsistent. I don't know how long he's. I'm not saying get rid of him now. We've got 2 Test series coming up against. I think it's at home against Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So you're probably giving those tests, those series. But he's on a tightrope. John Campbell's on a tightrope for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's done enough to really cement his place at the top of that order. Shane Mosley. I mean, we brought him in. Shane Mosley's from the road, as Have Hope will say. Shane Mosley is from the road. I don't know where we got him from. I don't know what his domestic first class career is saying. I don't know what his record is, but he does not look international ready. Will he ever be international ready? I don't know, but he does not look international ready at all. Nkrumah Bonner, he got man of the series. Brilliant performance for him in his debut Test series. In both tests, in all 4 innings, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He didn't get man of the match in either, but he was a match winner in both of those Test matches. Cal Mayers, and we know we got a double century, so we're going to see him for a few more tests at least. I'm not 100% sold on him. His technique. He's a good, powerful striker of the ball. Apparently, I think he came through the CPL. CPL and Test cricket, 2 different things. So I'm not 100% sold on him, but to get a double century in, trying conditions in a 4th innings, it says a lot about your character, and you must have some ability. You must have some ability if you're going to do that. So Kyle Mayers, we'll see what he does in going forward, but he didn't have a great test at all. He only got 6 in that innings. Jermaine Blackwood, stumped. I mean, I know he was attacking shot. His foot just dragged out of the crease. He's another one that's on a tightrope. Jermaine Blackwood, because you got the likes of Hetmeyer, you've got the likes of Pooran. For me, those are people that I would say they are direct replacements for Blackwood. Someone in the middle order who's going to come out and score quickly, get the scoreboard moving, can take the game away from the opposition, etc., etc. That's what Blackwood can do. Again, I'm not gonna say get rid of him. I'm done with Blackwood. He's probably got a few more because he's played a good few innings, quick fire innings. Maybe 67. You like push on, get 100, or a quick 30-40 that we need to secure a win or whatever it might be. But he needs to start playing match-winning innings or playing in a more responsible manner. Like even in the last test that we won, he got out in a ridiculous manner and he left it up to Mayers and Joshua De Silva to see the game home, and he has to take more responsibility. So the jury's out on Blackwood. Talented batsman, but the jury's out. Joshua De Silva, he looks brilliant. He looks very, very competent with the bat. I think behind the stumps, there's a bit of work that needs to be done. He's not as safe as Shane Dowrich, but with the bat, I like what I see so far. I really do. If I'm bringing up back the more experienced players, I'm keeping him in the team. If you want to bring back Dowrich as a keeper, keep Joshua Da Silva as a batsman. I'm keeping him in the team. And then Alzari Joseph, yeah, he did well with the bat and the ball. And then we go into the second inning, or Bangladesh's second innings, and setting them 231 to win. And it's a difficult chase. 100% it's a difficult chase, but it wasn't a formidable target. It's a target that probably in the end, Bangladesh will be disappointed they did not chase down. Tamim Iqbal, as Hala Madrid said, it seems like he's been playing for 25 years. He's been around. Like, since Bangladesh came into the scene, I'm sure Tamim Iqbal has been in the team. I remember him from the start when I was watching them. So, but he plays like it's his debut. He doesn't play with sense. He's still this slasher and dasher. He just wants to score quickly. And I get it. On that pitch with a small target, you do need to get off to a quick start and kind of just reduce the target as soon as. And the start that he made, 50 or 46, good start. At that point, you settle down and build your innings and win your team the match. Didn't do it. Got out for 50. Craig Brathwaite, the man with a golden arm, the captain, he steps up, and we weren't having any joy. We weren't getting anything from the pitch. The bowlers weren't producing in the way that we wanted them to do. And Craig Brathwaite said, all right, let me turn my arm over. And he came in and got 2 wickets in quick succession. Samoya Saka, the first opener, 59 for 1. And then the crucial wicket of Tamim Iqbal, 70 for 2. Absolutely turned the game on its head. And it's that kind of captaincy that I was looking forward to seeing. After I watched the first game, I didn't watch all the first game, but I watched this one. I said, I want to see, because I'm very critical of Jason Holder. I don't think he's proactive as a captain. I think he's too defensive. He lets the game just drag on without doing something to influence it. And for me, to bring on yourself, Craig Brathwaite, as who you are, an opening batsman who can bowl, like you're not Carl Hooper or anything like that, but you can turn your arm over, maybe similar to a Joe Root, for example. Do something different, something out of the box that they're not really thinking of. They weren't thinking that Craig Brathwaite is going to come in and take the wickets. He comes in and does exactly that. That makes the batsman think, and I like that. At no point did he go into a defensive manner. He was always going forward, trying to get a wicket. So, it puts him in good stead. He's not going to get it. I think Holder is still going to be the captain going forward. But maybe there's something that Holder can learn. Maybe there's something he can learn from someone like even a Craig Brathwaite. And then we just start picking up wickets at every so often. 72 becomes 78 for 3. Then we get 100 for 4, 115 for 5. And they just start, but they're building little partnerships. And let's be honest, it only takes a lot of little partnerships to actually chase down this total. It wasn't a huge total. But because we just kept chipping away, and we kept the pressure on them, each batsman that comes out, they have to start again. They have to know, all right, now the pressure's on me. And of course, as you go into the bowlers, lower down in the list, things should get easier. 147 for 6 became 153 for 7, 163 for 8. And I'm thinking, all right, we can win this now. We can win this. And then they put together a little partnership again. And it looks like we're going to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. 188 for 9. You're thinking, all right, it's done. It's finished. They put on another partnership. I think it was about 30 or 25 to 30 between Mehedi Hassan and it was Naeem Hassan and Mehedi Hassan at first. And then Abu Jayed came in and he stayed in for 14 balls. And at the time, Mehdi Hassan, they took the extra half an hour and Mehdi Hassan just started hitting it for 4, for 6. And I'm there like, oh, God, we're going to give this game away. And that man, Rakeem Cornwall in the slips, just grabbed the ball just before it hit the ground from Jamal Warrican. And I had to big up Jamal Warrican because he stuck to his task. There was a lot of the commentators were saying, oh, why don't we bring on Shannon Gabriel? bring him on to go at the lower order batsman. But Craig Brathwaite trusted his spinners. He trusted of himself, of course. He got a couple wickets. He trusted Jamal Rourke and he trusted Raheem Cornwall. In the end, Brathwaite finished with 3 wickets. Another big wicket he got was Naeem Hassan, which was the 9th. Brought back on Jamal Rourke to finish it off and won the game by 17 runs. It was a tight game, but an exciting finish nonetheless. And I'm so proud of these boys. I'm not getting ahead of myself because we have these flashes of brilliance, these flashes of these moments that you're like, is this a turning point? I'm not seeing it as a turning point, but I'm seeing it as a great moment for what it is. We went over there with a depleted team and nobody gave us a chance. Nobody gave us a chance, and the team spirit that we showed out there, I think it's just brilliant to see. A lot of positives in terms of individual performance, managing, coaching, leadership in terms of Craig Brathwaite, and team spirit. Brilliant things that we can take back to the Caribbean in future tours. Let me go through some of these comments. Rams, New Zealand best team in the world. Sorry, they're number 1 at the moment. I believe they're going to be playing, as it stands anyway, if India can win this series, I think they'll be playing India in the World Test Championship final. I did hear that West Indies have moved ahead of South Africa and Sri Lanka into 6th in the world rankings. It hasn't been updated yet, so maybe we'll see that soon. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I was just looking at this ICC app, and they've got this thing called, obviously, they've got the rankings for players, and you see Kane Williamson at the top. As as Ram says, we've got the number 1 batsman, best bowling liner. So Kane Williamson at the top. Henry Nicholls is in 8th in the rankings. And for the bowlers, where's the bowlers? I've got no idea. Oh, 1 second. There we go. The bowlers, we have got Pat Cummins. Oh, Neil Wagner's 4th. Tim Southey is 6th. And Trent Bolt is 14th. Is that the best bowling attack in the world? Well, Stuart Broad is sitting in 2nd. Jamie Anderson in 3rd. India, what's India got? India got Ravi Ashwin, Bumrah, and Jadeja. Australia got Josh Hazlewood. Pat Cummins, Josh Hazlewood, and Mitchell Stark. So officially on the rankings, the best bowling lineup in the world is Australia's. But yeah, you got to give credit to New Zealand. 100% got to give credit to New Zealand. In terms of all-rounders, Ben Stokes number 1, Jason Holden number 2, and Ravi Ashwin. Oh, sorry, Ravindra Jadeja is at number 3. Kyle Jamieson's number 5. So New Zealand are doing very, very well at the moment. Hannah Madrid says, I don't trust guys who score centuries on debut. I mean, we had a guy called Kirk Edwards. I don't know if you remember. And he got a century on debut and he fell away. Like, he had no technique. He had none. So I'm not getting excited. I have to take everything as it comes. What I was saying, sorry, I was looking at the rankings and they got this thing called all-time rankings. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, and Don Bradman is at the top. Number 1 is all-time. Steve Smith, number 2. You got Len Hunt and Jack Hobbs. Ricky Ponting, number 5. Peter May. Gary Sobers, who is the greatest cricketer of all time, sitting at number 7. Then you've got who we got? Kumar Sangakkara, Clyde Walcott, of course, of West Indies. Viv Richards, sitting at number 10. Virat Kohli, 11. Jack Callish, 12. Hayden, De Villiers, Mohamed Youssef, Everton Weeks, Graham Pollock, Doug Waters, Dudley Norse, and Neil Harvey. There is no Sachin Tendulkar and there's no Brian Lara. Unbelievable. In ODIs, Viv Richards is top. You got Zahir Abbas, Virat Kohli's number 6, Greg Chappell's in at 3, Brian Lara's in at 8. In the ODI rankings. Sachin Tendulkar's in 15th. Listen, guys, when I say, hey, big up Dinesh in the chat, when I say Brian Lara is better than Sachin Tendulkar, there's a reason why I say that. The man was playing with a poor team. He was playing with a poor team, and he was getting the records that he had. Tendulkar had great players throughout his career, the likes of Dravid, Laxman, Sewag, Ganguly. Someone remind me who India's keeper was before Dhoni. I was trying to remember that earlier. I couldn't remember. And then the bowlers, Anil Kumble, etc. They've had, I'm not gonna say West Indies didn't have great players, but as a team, we were absolutely trash. We were poor. Tendulkar's in at 15th. You got David Warner 18th. Kepler Vessels down in 19th. Where's New Zealand? Who's the highest New Zealand ranked ODI? There's no one in the top 20. What about Test? Oh, Chris Cairns in at 10. Oh, this is. Oh man, 1 second. Oh, that's an all rounder. Okay, I moved the all rounders for some strange reason. Ah, sorry about that. There we go. I had a bit of an issue there. No, still no. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Viv Richards still leading the way there. T20s, yeah, of course you're gonna T20s are gonna be much more recent as well. Anyway, looking at the bowlers all-time list, Sydney Barnes. I don't even know who that is. Glenn McGrath's in at 6th. Curtly Ambrose at 8. Malcolm Marshall 11. Where's Courtney Walsh? Whoa, where's Courtney Walsh? Because for me, Courtney Walsh was the best, but better than Ambrose. Ambrose was so mean with his bowling and tight, but Courtney Walsh has so much more to his game. I'm surprised. Murali's at 4. Where's Shane Warne? Shane Warne's at number 18. ODI bowlers, Joe Gardner, West Indies, number 1. Malcolm Marshall, 8. Curtly Ambrose, 9. Ewan Chatfield, that's a New Zealand, I guess, I don't know, he's in number 6. Richard Hadley, of course, he's at number 2. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. And all-rounders, who they got? They must have Gary Sobers, must be number 1, of course. Gary Sobers, Ian Botham, Jack Callis as the number 1, 2, and 3 all-rounders in the world. Kapil Dev, Chappell, and Andrew Flintoff in at number for ODIs. And yeah, so I was interested just looking at those things. I didn't know ICC had that new thing in their app where it's all time. I don't agree with all of it, but it is what it is. I just see a comment from Rams and where's Hadley? I did mention Hadley in the end. So let's see. Let me see through some of these comments. I see Hadam Madrid, man's getting. Yeah. All right, let's see. Dinesh says West Indians need Sunil Narayan. I guess he spelled it wrong, but Narayan playing in Test. He's a world-class spin bowler. He's never actually. I say never. I don't remember him ever playing a Test for us. He's T20. I think he's played a few ODIs as well. But his action, since they made him change his action, he ain't been the same bowler. And I didn't see anything wrong with his action in the first place. And he ain't been the same. So unfortunately, it's what we need, or what we needed. But the way that he's bowled in international cricket recently, I'm not 100% sure. Was Adrian Barath a debutant? He might have been actually. I remember him. He's an opening batsman, wasn't he? Neeks, they both underarm to Bradman. You know what? Is that even 100% true? I need to double check when they actually changed the underarm rule. Let me just check that. Underarm to Bradman. Let's see. When did they take out underarm bowling? So when did they invent? Maybe they switched it up because they definitely did bowl overarm. I don't know if it was consistent overarm. I know that because in the law you could do both, and then they changed it where you couldn't do it at all. But you say underarm makes it harder to score at times, harder to get out, but hard to score. I think there was an incident where I think the team needed like 6 to win, and the guy who was it? Was it one of the Chappell brothers or Greg Chappell? And he just basically rolled it across the ground. Yeah, so Greg Chappell instructed Trevor Chappell, his brother, to bowl it underarm to Australia against New Zealand because they couldn't get I think it was like 6 or whatever it was they needed to win. So it can be harder to score, even if it's not going to be hard to get them out. But they definitely bowled over to Bradman at time. But you know, the way I judge it is about how you dominate your era. So if they're bowling underarm to Bradman, they're bowling underarm to everyone. So if it was that easy, everyone should have had an average of 99, and they didn't. Yep, he said Viv is the goal. I know you always say that. Sachin had Dravid, Laxman, Sehwag if he failed. Someone please remind me who India's wicketkeeper was before Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Please remind me. I can't. I obviously grew up on him. I just can't remember. Who was India's wicketkeeper before Dhoni? Let me just Google that. List of India's wicketkeepers. Dinesh Karthik. Of course, yes, Dinesh Karthik. Pravi. Oh, Dhoni came in 2005, been around for a while, but Dinesh Karthik, that Paritav Patel. I think I'm saying a bit wrong. Sorry about that. Prasad Mongia. Naya Mongia. I remember him. I think that's the one I was thinking about. He played a lot of tests. He played a lot of matches for India. But as to be fair, as I said, Dhoni's been around for a while. But it must have been Mongia must have been around when Sachin Tendulkar was doing this thing. Yeah, it says what he was here from 1994 to 2001. He played 107. Oh, sorry, how many matches did he play? I don't know how much he played, but he played for a long time. Mongia. Oh yes, Naeem Mongia. Malcolm Marshall is the best bowler of all time. He is. It's just unfortunate. I mean, RIP, of course, but yeah, I mean, he could have he should have played much more than he actually did in terms of his career, because he could do everything. He could actually do everything with the ball. He played 81 tests. To be fair, I thought he played less. To be fair, he played a lot, 81 tests. So that's fair enough. But he could do everything. As far like I didn't grow up on him, I don't remember. But from what I've seen, all the footage and reading, etc., he had a fast bouncer, he had a slow bouncer. His bouncer was skiddy. So you had the likes of Joe Gardner, the likes of the likes of Michael Holding, Andy Roberts, even. That man just came, boom, boom, and it would rise on you. Yeah, so yeah, it might hit you, but you got time. So not time, but you can duck because it's a bit high. It's high. Malcolm Marshall he was a short bowler, but very quick, and the ball used to skid onto you. So you there was nowhere to go. You couldn't hide. He had the in-swing Yorker, the out-swing Yorker, the reverse swing. Like his skill set as a bowler was unbelievable, and he could also bat a bit as well. he I think he got 7 or 8 wickets in the innings with a broken wrist on his left hand, bowling with his right. But we know when you bowl, you have to use all your limbs. You know, you have to use that arm to position yourself in your run up or in your run up in your delivery stride before you deliver it. And he's bowling with a broken or sprained wrist. He had the bandage on. He batted with one hand because of the wrist. Like, he was an unbelievable cricketer, unbelievable bowler. Dash Meat says, please talk about India versus England. Listen, the first test, England did very, very well. Very, very well. But this test, it's been, I mean, they won the toss, and it's like, the way they were talking is like, won the toss, win the game. And that's how it seems to happen. Win the toss, win the game in this game anyway. 329. It's not a massive score, but on this wicket, very, very, very good score. Like, in all intents and purposes, it's just 329. But this wicket was spinning and spitting from day one. You were seeing bit like puffs of dust from the first, off the straight, from the first overs of the day. You're seeing puffs of dust, explosions, ball turning from day one. Like, it wasn't easy. So for Rohit Sharma to come out and hit 161, and it's funny because I look at when this India team let's say under Dhoni and even coming through now, when it was coming up and become number one in the world, and you know they've kind of been up there right now. I kind of look at the players now and compare them to the players then. And so for me, you have Rohit Sharma, who is the Virender Sehwag of the past. You have Pujara, who is the Rahul Dravid. You have Virat Kohli, who's the Tendulkar. Then you got another keeper now in Pan, very good keeper actually, and a very exciting batsman. But then your spinners and your options in the bowling department, I think it's even superior. It's even superior to what that great India side was. Like I know back then you had the likes of Zahir Khan. I can't remember all your bowlers back then. Obviously, Anil Kumble has been one. Harbhajan Singh, brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Those spinners were unbelievable. But the variations in your bowling attack now, you got obviously the likes of Ravi Ashwin, very good lower order batsman. He's got 4 or 5 centuries now. He's the first. He's the first person. No, sorry, the second person to get a century and 5 wickets in a match. He's done it 3 times. The second person to do it 3 times. Ian Bolton has 5. Gary Sobers has 2, and some others. But you got him. You got Ravindra Jadeja, Ravindra Jadeja. You've got is it Kuldeep? Who's your spinner to this time? I can't. You got Axar Patel. He's playing in this one. In the ODIs, I'm sure you've got someone called Kuldeep as well. Oh, he's playing as well. Kuldeep Yadav, yeah. He's there as well. Then you've got obviously Jasprit Bumrah, who is not playing in this test. Like you've got a lot of variation in your attack, which I think it serves you well. So whatever you play, I think you've got the bowlers to exploit the conditions. Whereas in the past, for me, India was very in the subcontinent conditions, brilliant. If you go abroad, your batsmen can bat, but your bowlers, you're really relying on Zahir Khan +1, and you're hoping that Kumble can just perform wherever he goes. I think now you've got an attack that can be balanced across the board, depending on wherever you go, to be honest. But yeah, to get 161 for Rohit Sharma, absolutely brilliant. Shubman Gill. Well, you let me know what you think about Shubman Gill. I don't know about him. But maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. I think he's young. He is 21, so he may have a lot of time ahead of him. But I wasn't 100% sold on him from what I saw. Pujara got 21. Kohli got an absolute beauty. Now, how much do I give credit to Moeen Ali for it compared to the pitch? But you have to put the ball in the right area. You put the ball in the right area, and it was so funny because it spun in between the gate, and he's looking around like what's happened? Is that out? No, I can't be out. I think at the time Greg Chappell started trending on social media because not just Greg Chappell, sorry, WG Grace started trending on social media because there's a renowned incident we know where he gets bowled by whoever the bowler was, and he puts the bell back on the stump and says, "They didn't come here to see me. They didn't come here to see you bowl. They came to see me bat. So let's play on." And the way that Kohli was going, like, how can I be out? And there's actually, to be fair, there's a few incidents in this test where Kohli's kind of a bit. He needs to maybe calm down a bit. I know he's pumped. I get it. I understand the crowds are back. There's all of that. But when you're out, you're out. You move on. When a decision's made, like India got a few lucky decisions in their second innings where I'm not going to say the VAR, the DRS system went in their favor when really it shouldn't have. Rohit Sharma was probably out from stumped. And then I think it was a Jinka Rahane. There was a deflection when he went to sweep and they didn't play the clip on and he would have been out. But fortunately, I guess for the balance of the game, they got out like a couple balls later. But the way Virat Kohli was then, going after the umpire when Joe Root could have got out at the end and it looked plumb. But the DRS said, umpire's cool, you accept the decision, you move on. He needs to just calm down a bit. You're in a position where the game is won. We're going into day 4. England need another 400 runs, and they've got like 7 wickets in hand. Like the game is won. You don't need to do all of this. Rishbar Pant, 58 of 77. He does what he does, man. Good innings to get to 329 on that pitch. Good, good knock for India. Did England come out, and only Ben Folkes really stands up and is counted to get in there. Well, they get 134 with Ashwin getting 5. And I really do like Stokes. Sorry, Stokes, Folkes. I've been calling for Folkes for about 2 years. They've gone with Bairstow, they've gone with Butler. They're going for people who are better batsmen. In ODI cricket, yes. In Test cricket, I don't rate Bairstow and I don't rate Butler. Butler, I probably rate more than Bairstow, but both their techniques are suspect at the highest level. Suspect at Test cricket. ODI cricket, cool, the ball don't swing. But in Test cricket, I don't think they've got the technique really to play at the highest level how you want them to play when you compare to the great wicket keepers we've seen in the past and some of the good wicket keepers now. For me, as a wicket keeper behind the stumps, Folkes is the best, easily the best. Like some of the stumpings he did today, where there was a stumping where the ball went down the leg side, inside the batsman, but down the leg side, the leg stump, got it, stumped. Like the guy is quality, absolute quality. And then the bat, like he's not a slasher and a dasher. He's not going to be excited and take the game away from you like a Butler can. But he's a good number 6, number 7. He comes in, number 7, 42, unbeaten. No one else could get the ball off the square. I think for me, he should be England's number 1 keeper. If you want to bring in Bairstow and bring in Butler, bring them in, but bring them in as batsmen. England's opening pair of Rory Burns and Dom Sibley. I mean, Butler is the BTEC, the Villiers. It's true. It's very true. What time are cricket games? Well, it all depends where they're being played. So West Indies were playing in Bangladesh, so that game was at 3 a.m. England are playing in India, so they'll start at, I want to say 4 a.m. But they're 8-hour days. So if you wake up in the morning, whatever time you wake up, 8 o'clock, whatever, you should be able to catch some of the match. Either way. But yeah, I think, that opening pair. But Rory Burns has got runs so fast in international cricket, but they're so ugly. They are so ugly to watch. Alistair Cook was an all-time great opening batsman for England. So you can put up with some of the ugliness. But Dom Sibley, he's all over the place. Nothing pleases me more than seeing Rory Burns and Dom Sibley get out. Not because I hate England, but because they are awful to watch. Awful. Then you got this Dan Lawrence fella. Maybe he's on debut. I think he's on debut. Never seen him before. He was getting spun all over the place. Joe Root got only 6. England, it was a poor innings. I mean, they just about avoided a follow one. But in England, India were always going to bat again and get some runs on the board. Virat Kohli comes out and makes amends for his first innings. Duck getting 62. Brilliant innings, as Hala Madrid said earlier. Where did he say it? Yeah, quality second. And he showed his quality, showed his class. Anyone can get a duck. Anyone can get a duck. Quality innings from him to really just take the game away from England. But then Ravi Ashwin, I think you have to give it to him. And I also give it to Mohammad Siraj because he kind of stuck around the end to make sure that Ravi Ashwin got his century. But 106 of 148 balls, a strike rate of 72 on that wicket. Brilliant innings. And that just, England were just defeated and deflated. India weren't going to declare, I don't think. So when they got out, it was a good thing that they did. Because it meant they could get a few overs at England in the end. And in the end, they took 50, well, they got England 53 for 3. Ashwin, of course, getting a wicket. And Axel Patel getting 2 wickets as well. The night watchman, it was funny because I always say, why do you bring in a night watchman? Because if the night watchman can defend and not get out, which is his job, surely a batsman should be able to do that job better. You think? Jack Leach comes out and first ball, he's out. He's a night watchman. He's not a batsman. A good ball is more likely to get him than it is to get a regular batsman. Joe Root then came in after him, and he, as I said, he was very, very lucky to still be. I mean, if I was the umpire, I'd give that because it looked plumb, and it was literally millimeter away from being overturned by DRS. Thoughts on the third test, which is pink ball test. Will England seamers do well? Then Bumrah, Ishan, and Siraj. It's interesting. They say that the pink ball swings more. I would like to see how it's gonna swing in India. It might swing more in England. It might swing more in Australia, South Africa, New Zealand. Is it gonna swing more in England? Is it gonna seem any more in England? This is a 4-match series, if I'm right, correct? So this is like a kind of a winner takes all in terms of getting to the World Test Championship final. Our T20 king Shalal, yeah, he's the leg spinner. He's good as well, very good actually. Gill is too hot and cold, too inexperienced. Massive mistake in the first innings and again in the second. I think KL Rahul should be selected in the third game. If not, Mayank Agarwal, whose average is mad. I've seen Agarwal play. I've seen KL Rahul as well, but I think I saw them play in ODIs. I don't remember seeing them in a test. Or maybe if they played against Australia in the series there, then I did see them in the test. If they did, I can't remember now. And he says his debut. Oh, Dan Lawrence was against Sri Lanka last month. Yeah, England needs to sort out their top one. I know Sibley and Burns. You know, I think they've scored some runs since they've been there. Burns will stay in, but 2 and 3 needs to be sorted out. I know Joe Root's never going to bat at 3, so we can forget that. Butler ain't the answer. Bairstow ain't the answer. For me, Root is the answer, but clearly not, because he struggles to replicate his average at 4 that he does at 3. Maybe it's a mentality thing, whatever. I don't know. But guys, listen, everyone that's in the chat, make sure you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'm gonna be here. Our test series with Bangladesh is done. But as I said, we have got a series against. When is our next series? Let me just double check. Let's see, because obviously I'll be doing my match reviews for all West Indies test matches. Fixtures. Our next series is, bear with me guys, I don't know when it is. Someone help me. Someone help me. When is West Indies playing next? I don't know. Windies next test series. Can't keep up with all this COVID stuff. Maybe they haven't selected it. Maybe they haven't set a time. I did hear we're playing Sri Lanka and South Africa next. So whenever that is, I'll be here. At the moment, there's a lot of domestic cricket going on, but whenever that is, I will be here, guys. Yeah, I don't think it's in the calendar yet, which is very, very interesting. International. Let's see. No, I can't see on the West Indies website, so maybe they haven't set a date yet. But hopefully, we can keep this form going. It'll be interesting to see which players keep their place when the senior guys return. I want players that are ready to fight for West Indies. I want players who are ready to put West Indies first in their commitments. And I understand the whole COVID thing, etc., etc. Some players are willing to travel. Okay, so February, March against Sri Lanka and then Australia. June, July. That ain't gonna be easy at all. I don't like playing Australia, you know. I don't like playing Australia. We get battered, man. It's not good to see. We do get battered. But let me see if we can get a win against Sri Lanka. Thanks for that, Dashmeet. If we can get a win against Sri Lanka in that tour, then we can maybe go into the Australia one with some some promise. But yeah, we'll see in it. We will see. Big up yourself, Dash Me, Arsenal fan. India gives you hope. Listen, it's funny because West Indies give me no give me no hope. And Man United pissed me off as well. So at least India's doing you proud at the moment compared to Arsenal. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. And guys, make sure you head over to the Football Dugout right now. 5 minutes, we're going to be over there going live. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We are talking about, are Liverpool the worst champions ever? That is what we're talking about in the Football Dugout. Guys, it's been good. West Indies 2-0 winners against Bangladesh in Bangladesh. Big up Craig Brathwaite. Big up Phil Simmons. Big up Nkrumah Bonner. Kyle Mayers. Raheem Cornwall. All of them guys out there. Well done. West Indies, the islands, the people. We are all proud of you.